Good morning, everybody. Ohayo gozaimasu. As I was sitting in my thinking chair, I was thinking about these things I think about. And options were on my mind. And freedom. Now, this past weekend was Juneteenth, and we get to celebrate the freedom of the last of the slaves, right? And with freedom comes options. And options, by definition, are the ability to make choices, right? Or I call it opportunities to choose from. So, in my mind, what I was thinking about as I was sitting there thinking, that God gives us the opportunities, He sets us up with opportunities to choose from. And I always tell my kids this, that, every decision that you make affects the rest of your life, right? And what happens is the decisions that you make are in response to the opportunities that are given to you. And when you make a decision, good or bad, it either opens the door to more opportunities or it starts to narrow them down or close them all together. It'll close doors. So you make the right decisions, opens doors, make the wrong decision, it'll close doors. Freedom is the ability to choose between the two, right? But on that note, as we all hear, freedom is not free. And it's on one side of it, freedom is the downside of freedom is insecurity. You don't know, I don't know if I'm gonna make the right decision or the wrong decision. I don't know if I'm closing doors or opening doors, but you have the freedom to choose. It's better to have the freedom to choose than not to have that freedom to choose. And people sacrifice to some degree. Some are mortally wounded, and some of them are, put on a pedestal, stoned, publicly stoned, as in stoned to death, or publicly stoned as shamed. Either way, those freedoms that we get to experience is usually paid with a price, right? And on down the line, people with those freedoms usually don't appreciate them until it's lost. To be able to choose what you want to do, either it's good or bad, And like I said, most of the bad decisions, as we keep choosing bad decisions, you're just closing the options for you to have those abilities to choose. So the bad decisions that you make, the options get closed out. But, another thing about freedom, it's usually traded. We usually just give it away. It's usually traded for security because of the insecurity that freedom comes with, right? Since you have this great unknown, sometimes it's easier just to say, forget it. I give up some of this freedom to have security. So just think all the opportunities that you have to own your own business and do whatever you want to do, but we usually give that up so we can have a paycheck, the steady paycheck. Now, you might make millions on this route, but you might not. On this one, you get minimum wage, but it's steady and it's coming. I do my 8 hours, I get my minimum wage, I do what I need to do. So we'll trade that security. A lot of times we'll just trade the security for, we'll trade our freedom for the security of of just to have a constant whatever it is. And a lot of our freedoms are given away because of misguided desires or just fear of self. I can't pay the bills, so I gotta have a job. So I'll go and take whatever I can get. Which is, you gotta do what's best for you. I was just thinking, like, if you save for a car, that money that you allocated for that car, you got the freedom to choose whatever car is on the lot that's in your budget, right? But once you make that decision, okay, I'm gonna get that car right there. And once you get that car, you're locked into it. That money that was allocated for any car that you wanted is only going to that one. All of those choices, I can have that car, I can have that car, I can have that car, but you chose that one. So now those doors are closed to all the other options. You have that car. Now it's the car that you wanted, but you might not have, you definitely probably won't have those choices anymore. So you locked into it for the next, 5 years. And your money that you had, the freedom to do it, is allocated to that car payment. So you kind of get that. And on the spiritual sense, what we do, God gives us all these freedoms. You can do whatever you want to. Try to stay within these guidelines. And, well, I do what I want to do. You gave me the freedom to do what I want to do, so I'm going to do what I want to do. Once you do that, say what happens is he's given us 10 commandments. And if you stay in those 10 commandments, you have all the freedom to do whatever you want to do. You have freedom. But we don't see it that way. And once we break a commandment, we end up in bondage to that sin, and we're no longer free. And that bondage is subtle at first, and then it becomes a stronghold, and then we can't break free at all. You're totally bonded. So you can't experience the opportunities that come up that he's giving us. Hey, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, but you can't because you're locked into a prison, a sin prison. So I just want you to think about the things that you're going to do this week. And don't give away the good freedom that you have, the positive things. Our decisions also, all decisions affect the rest of our lives. Every decision that you make on down the line either opens opportunities or just closes doors. So just be careful, be wise, choose wisely, and have an awesome day. And see you tomorrow. Love you. Come by.